Hello!
I'm back!
Yay!
I heard she was making irresponsible choices, so I'm back again to lay down the law.
You think my WIP has increased?
Gee, I'm looking around here with all these bins that have magically appeared, and I'm thinking, what? I just leave for a few years? You think you can do whatever you want?
Here's the blue board right there is the board.
Oh my gosh.
You can pull it up
Is
and
it
show
still
it
the
to 'em.
board?
So those are all the WIPs.
What is happening right now? What?
There's a few more.
What? It's not even all on the board.
No, they're all on the board.
Oh,
no,
okay.
there's a few more than the last time when you were here.
Oh, I see
filming.
what you're saying. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, there are a lot. It's heavy. It's heavy this time with all these magnets on here. Oh man, yeah, there's a lot of new names on here, but it looks like some of the old names have dropped off at least.
And every single thing is on there.
Oh, good. Okay, no
So we are
secret
accountable.
projects.
No secret projects. Everything is on there.
Nothing off the books.
No under the table. No.
Okay, all right. So, what are we starting with then for this WIP parade?
Let's see. Today is December 30th,
Yes.
2022. I never realized why you need to say the date at the beginning, and then I realized because YouTube randomly suggests videos for you, and you don't know if it was recent or 6 months ago.
That's true.
When you're watching YouTube sometime. My name is Brenda. My channel is Handwork Maniac. This is Catherine, my oldest daughter. We sometimes call her Boss Daughter.
Because I'm the oldest.
She's the oldest.
And I'm the boss.
She's the boss. That's why. My younger daughter, Marie, her YouTube channel is Stitchy Marie, if you want to go watch her YouTube channel. And she is Bossy Daughter because when I asked her what her name should be, she said Bossy Daughter because she's the bossy one.
Yep, she's the one who texts us all and is like, when are we doing something?
No, she just texted and said, this is what we're doing.
Oh, that's
Come at
true.
this time.
That's a good point, actually.
Which is great because we let her organize all the things and we love that.
Yep, that's great.
And she's doing some amazing stitching. So go watch her channel or message her on Instagram. She also has an Instagram account, Stitchy Marie, and tell her that you would like to see a video because I think it's been a little while since she made a video. All right, today is a WIP parade. We're going to go through all of my WIPs in chronological order. But first, we're going to start with Catherine's WIP.
Yay!
Who is stitching again?
I am stitching again. It turns
got
out.
Drawn back in.
Yeah, somehow. I wasn't sure if it would ever happen, but apparently the cool down period for a Heaven and Earth design is 4 years. And then I was like, oh man, do I want to start another one? I think I want to start another one.
Did you bring me the finished one?
Yeah, I did actually.
You did?
I
Okay,
did.
show that first. We should
Okay.
start with that.
We're going to start the WIP parade with a finish? That sounds like cheating.
No, because it's a WIP parade and Catherine's back. So we just need to refresh their memory about why it took 4 years.
Yes.
So 4 years ago.
4 years ago, if you weren't here, I finished this monster. Ta-da! It's humongous, but it's gorgeous.
We can get closer, but keep it in
the
frame.
Oh my gosh. And no, I still haven't framed it yet for all of you who were here before. I'm working on it. I have a lead on a place and I need to go check it out.
Makes it more portable.
Yeah. It's nice.
Okay, so what design is it?
It is James C. Christensen Fairy Tales from Heaven and Earth Designs.
And what is it on?
It's on a 25 count Evenweave.
1/1.
1/1.
Full cross. Right?
Full cross. Yep. The pattern says you're supposed to do 2/1, but it was starting to squish all the threads together and I didn't like it. So I went
Unless
back.
you did 2/1 tent stitch.
Oh,
I mean, that just a half of a cross. That wouldn't be too squishy.
And it probably wouldn't, yeah.
But we both tried 2/1 full cross on 25 count, and it started to push. It was so tight. It was pushing the threads apart.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It was warping the fabric. It was not good.
So I got like this far with the double, and I decided I hated it. So I think I still have that laying around somewhere, that So I
I
bought
might too.
a whole new piece of fabric and started all over again and did it with one thread. So if you're curious what the coverage looks like for something like this for one thread, here you go. It's not bad.
Should we do a close up so they can see?
Yeah. Like the blue sky.
What
Yeah.
the
what the coverage
what the
looks like.
pixelation, you know,
Yeah.
what the
Wow, I forgot how dirty this fabric is after. This took 11 years to complete.
I was just gonna
Like,
say,
on
how
and
long
off.
did it take?
Way too long. It's older than my actual real
And
life
you
child.
were, I mean, you did some Christmas stockings.
Yeah, I did.
But
I
you
did a
were
bunch of stuff in between.
mostly this was your only project, right?
I mean, I started it in 2008, and there was a lot of projects that I started, or that I like finished or worked on in between.
But towards the for the
Oh, yeah,
last
towards the
4
end.
or 5 years, would you say that was your only,
Yeah, I would say so.
or mostly your only, except for the
Yeah.
Christmas stockings? I know you work on those.
That's true. Yeah, I made a Christmas stocking for my ex-husband, and I made one for my son. So that took some time in between. And then, like, the last year, I worked on it really hard. I can't remember where I started it at for the last year, but came together. So hopefully the next one that I have now started will not take 11 years, because then, let's see, how old would my child be? He's 9 right now, so he would be 20 if it took another 11 years. So we're gonna shoot
Well,
for
hey,
less than that.
At least that's in your lifetime.
That's true. That's true. I guess if he's
And then
20...
you have time to start another one after that.
Oh my gosh. If he's 20, then that would mean that I'm 45, which is just crazy talk. Crazy. So let's not make it another 11
Old
years.
woman.
No. No. 45 is not old anymore. So the new Heaven and Earth design is not much to look at yet. Get really close for you to see it. Ta-da! This is Arcadia by Amy Stewart, which ironically is the same artist who's doing your Heaven and Earth design.
Yes. Which I'll show in just a minute.
Do
you have a picture of it? Can you pull it up on your phone?
On my phone, or I could pull it up on the tablet.
Oh yes.
Because
wow, she's prepared. She even brought a tablet.
I am a pattern keeper convert thanks to this one. She was like, Catherine, if you're starting a new Heaven and Earth design, you have to use Pattern Keeper. It was like a big deal. She was like, you have to at least try it. I was like, okay. Okay.
And what did you think after you tried it? Was it right?
I thought it was great. Yep. I am a Pattern Keeper person now. So, let's see if I can get this to stay where it is. That's the picture. Oh, it's going to give lots of glare, but there you go.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm
you're
just
right in
up
between
here
those,
in this
okay.
corner. There we go. So that's what it's going to look like eventually. And apparently, according to now that I know what the actual stitch count is for each color, it is a full 1/4 black. And that's what Marie said when she saw the pattern. She's like, it's all black. I'm like, no, it isn't. She's like, yes, it is. So anyways, the stitch count is like 1/4 black, but it's going to be really cool.
But in the little piece that you've done so far, show that again. How many colors do you think you've used?
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, I got the max color version too.
Oh, yes.
Which we'll find out is a mistake is later. So, for this much, good question. I wish it would give you data on that in Pattern Keeper.
Like, so the max color version has a lot, like 200 and
283 or something,
colors.
like almost 300 colors.
Do you think you've used like 40 colors so far?
Probably. Maybe. Yeah, maybe like 30 to 40 colors so far. It really is mostly black in this first page. And I figured out that both patterns have 60 pages. Both of them do. But this one is bigger. So where the old one had, and I'm also doing it on easy count fabric, which is awesome. So I'm doing, looks a little different than the last one that I was doing because I'm doing very limited cross country. Okay? Nobody die. Nobody freak out. Limited cross country, not like the whole thing.
There is. Catherine made a video on how she does a Hade. Oh,
how I did the last Hade.
Yeah, how she did that Hade.
Like at the very end of that project, so that would have been like 2018.
But it's in the. I want to say it's in the teens on my. Yeah. I want to say it's like video number 13, something like that.
Go back to like
it's
December.
a picture of her Hade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The thumbnail is a picture of her Hade.
Yes.
So yeah,
and it would be like towards the end of 2018.
It's in the first 20 videos, I'm pretty sure, of mine.
Yes. So that's how I did it before. If you want to watch that, and this time, I pick a color and I do all the ones around it, and then I do all the ones around. So I don't know. I'm trying it out this time. It's easier with the Easy Count fabric and with Pattern Keeper.
Are you
so
going
I'm trying it out
across and back like this, or are you just moving
it's
this direction?
Yeah, it's kind of. However, I feel like I think the next page I'm gonna do is the one next to it. You know, but that's just because
you're definitely filling in as you go.
Yes.
Coming this direction.
Yes, I wouldn't.
So you do a thread and you go to the end of it for however's what's close by, and then you go back and start
and
pick
fill it
one
in.
like here.
Yeah, I felt like for this one right now, I'm picking like the ones that are up here and like filling that in
And moving this way.
So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I hate it when I get down into some more colors. But for right now, it's working out to do, you know, just a few colors and then fill it all in with black. So, because that's what the pattern's doing. So keep you updated. I should probably start posting on my Instagram.
Yes, you should. What is your Instagram account?
Insanity Stitcher, I think.
That's a good name.
Yeah. Well, because the old one we always joked was called the Project of Insanity because it was huge and dense, and so.
Well, and this is the max color version, so this is even more insane.
This is even crazier. Oh, and that's what I was saying about the pattern is that they both have 60 pages, but because this one is bigger, each page has like 8 squares by 10 squares.
Oh, so it's printed bigger.
Yeah.
So it has less squares per page.
And the
but
old
you're in
one,
Pattern Keeper, so you can.
Yeah, you can.
The
just
pages
go
are all
you
together,
want.
but it's got like dotted lines showing you where the
kind
page
of
break
guide
is.
you. Yeah, but so the old one was only 6 squares by 8 squares. So I was like, why is this page taking so long? And it's because there's hundreds more stitches on it. That's all. It's fine. So we'll see how that goes. And then the other one that I've been like, this is my easy the project I started in between just to have something to work on, you know, in between. And like, it just kind of gets a few stitches on it once in a while. But I really like the pattern. Where is my pattern? Not the pattern.
I was just going to say. And it looks like it's maybe Evenweave.
Oh, good question.
Light blue Evenweave.
So this is what the picture is.
32 count. Is it 2 strands of floss?
Yes.
Oh, so it's probably 32
It's
count.
2 over probably 32.
2 over 2, yeah, it kind of looks like 32.
What does the paper say? Man, I am like out of practice with all the lingo. Not out of practice with the stitching, but out of practice with the words. Yeah, I want to say it's on 32.
Our model is stitched on 28, but I don't think that's 28. I think that's 32. And it's a light blue sky.
Because I wanted there to be blue sky behind the school or whatever this is.
Pretty. Didn't
It's
you change?
so cute. I changed like half of the colors, let's be real. Because this is one of those patterns from like the 90s where none of the reds are actually red. They're all like pink color.
Oh, yes.
And I don't like that. So I changed all the reds and I think I left the greens alone. I bolded up the blue. This is definitely not the original blue. I think I left the oranges alone too and the browns. But yeah, I changed like half the colors so that it would be red and not pink. So
makes total sense.
yes, so those are my 2 WIPs. This one will probably not get very much attention because it's just I started it. What did I even start it for? To go to like Stitch West or something to have something to work on?
I think we went up to Bear Lake with
is that
Walter
what
and
it was?
Juliana and all
Yeah.
the girls. We had like a stitch weekend.
And I had already
And
finished.
you didn't have anything to work on, so I think
Yes.
you brought that and
So
started
I started
it.
this instead, just to have, so I wouldn't have to like commit to a whole new full coverage one. So it was kind of just like sitting in my stash or
It's
whatever.
snack size in
It's
between.
snack size.
It was a palette
Yeah.
cleanser between.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And so then, so I started, and then, you know, I left it alone. It got like a few stitches in it here and there.
I don't know, 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, probably right after you
yeah,
finished
right
it.
after I finished the other one. And then.
Well, not right after, but like a year
But,
after or
like,
something like that.
Close-ish, yeah. Because I needed something. And then, but then I basically just haven't touched it hardly at all. And then we renovated our old house and then built our new house. And so I was sitting there and we're watching TV and I'm like, I'm so bored. Like, what can I do? And I got really into puzzles for a while. So but I didn't have a puzzle to do. And I was like, maybe I should pull out my cross stitch. So I went and pulled it out and I was like, I can do this. I can do it. And I'm like sitting there working on it. And I was like, maybe I should start a new Heaven and Earth. Really? do I really want to start a new Houtman? Is that really something that I want to do? So then I started looking at patterns, and then it was all over. It was just like, and then it took forever. You know, it took like 2 whole days to actually pick a pattern, because if you're going to commit to something like that, it's going to be like years of your time. So
it must be something you really, really love.
yes. So I picked one out, and I
Make
ordered
sure it's
everything.
recording.
And I found out that there's all these colors that popped up in the last 4 years that are like 12 and like 60. I'm like, this is not real. Like, I was looking at the pattern, I was like, there is no color that's like 11. That doesn't exist. That's fake. So then I went back up to the craft center, which is, what do you call it? The local...
Our local needlework shop,
Yes.
LNS.
LNS.
The
Went to the LNS.
Craft Center of Fine Stitchery in
Yes.
Salt Lake City.
Yes.
They are amazing.
They are amazing. And I went and bought all and I was like, oh, all these colors do exist now. How about that? So I bought all of those, and then I told them what size of fabric that I needed, and they gasped. They were like, how big? I was like, yeah, I know. And she's like, I don't have anything that big. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's cool. I'm crazy. It's fine. I'll just order it. So and it came like a week later, and I started. So here we are, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm sure I'll finish it someday, because apparently I am capable of finishing it. So
Yes, you are.
we'll just see how long this one goes for. Maybe I should start updating the Instagram again.
Yes,
but-
you should. Yes, you should.
So there you go.
I will
There's-
put your Instagram name in the description
Oh
box
man,
below.
now it's real serious. Now I do have to
Memories.
post something.
Could
Okay.
you close the door just in
Yeah.
case Kevin comes home and makes
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of noise?
For sure. My son was
The door
supposed to
will
be here
close.
making noise, but he decided that he was going to be asleep still. And it's noon. And he's 9, so I'm pretty sure he stayed up all night.
Okay, this is technically not the oldest WIP. This is the 3rd oldest WIP, but it is a Heaven and Earth design, so I think we should go to that one next.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is a stitching, I never know if it's a stitching shelf or a stitcher shelf. It says a stitching shelf. This is what it will look like when it's finished.
So cute.
There's a version that has a round medallion right here in the middle that says, I can't remember, something about stitching. I chose the version that does not have that in it.
Mm.
It is by Amy Stewart,
Yeah.
as Catherine said. I just love it.
She's a great artist. She does some really nice things.
Started it in,
Oh gosh, yeah, when did you start this one?
I want to say, because I started a different Heaven and Earth design. Did we start those
Oh,
together?
Peter Pumpkin Eater?
Uh-huh. This one says I restarted it in May of 2017.
Okay. Wait. Oh yeah, because you started it in...
But Peter Pumpkin Eater would have been way before that, so
Yeah, we had to start it at the same time. So was Peter
You're-
Pumpkin Eater 2008 too?
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And I worked on it for several years and then saw this one and thought, no, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life on a Hade,
It's
I
gonna
want
be
this one.
Yeah. Well, Peter Pumpkin Eater is really cute.
And apparently I put it away in the middle of a section because it's a disaster.
That's so cute. Ta-da.
And I came clear down here because I was so tired of the spring shelf that I wanted to get into some of these greens.
Oh, really?
Well, my new plan was to go all the way down to the bottom.
Oh, go through all the seasons.
And then there is kind of a section right here where I could, like, if I was 80
Mm-hmm.
and I still didn't have it done and it was still, like, just over here somewhere, I could end it.
Oh, that's a good point.
It could just be part of the design, but all the way down so you get all 4 seasons.
Huh. Yeah, I guess you could. Interesting.
I'm using the parking method, kind of like what in Catherine's video,
Yeah.
only I do mine down, vertically down in rows, in columns.
I think we discussed that in the video,
Mhm.
like, after.
And I think I made another video later. I will put that in the description box of how I stitch a Hade.
Uh-huh. Because we
I
were
have an
arguing
Earth
about
design.
it.
I full coverage. We're basically talking full coverage.
Because I found out a whole bunch of things that you do that I didn't do. I was like,
Yes,
what? You do
yes.
what?
We do it. We started doing it exactly the same,
Uh-huh.
but you kind of
And
tweak
then
as
we
you go.
diverged, yeah.
And now I'm trying all kinds of different methods, which is kind of fun. But this was my second Peter Pumpkin Eater was abandoned, so I still have it, but I haven't worked on it for years and years and years. And I keep stealing all the floss out of it.
Oh, yeah.
This is a parking bobbin made out of, this particular blue one is made out of a hair curler with
cute.
a button glued on it and magnet glued to the back. But you can, it pops open and you can wrap the thread around it to keep it out of the way. You can, my daughter-in-law Hannah makes those. Ignore this that says needle minder. She also has needle minders, but she also has some that are parking bobbins.
Yeah.
Her store is SunshineMamasDesigns. And she makes them and glues the cute button on the front and glues the magnet on the back for
There's
you.
a lot of cute ones.
Oh, let's see. This is on 25 count, Evenweave 1/1 full cross, and I just have the regular version of the stitching shelf, not max color.
Yeah. Oh, I guess mine is a 25 count Evenweave 1/1 Glorianna.
Yes.
Yes. Nice and
Easy
soft.
count. Yes.
Yeah. Easy count. Yep. 100% recommend the easy count. It's great. Especially if you're doing any kind of cross country.
I have never tried the easy count, but I will be. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Wait, you will be?
I'm starting a piece in January as part of Brenda.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So just so I can try out.
It's worth it.
But it's only like 120 by 120. So
okay.
it's not,
so it's just baby.
it's like a little tiny snack size full coverage.
Snack size full coverage.
I
love that we made that up.
This is my oldest WIP. It's
You're not done with this one yet?
called Don't start with me.
That's what I'm here for.
This is called, I started it in 2012, I believe. This is called American Sampler by Sandy Orton.
So we're just not counting Peter because he's abandoned. Huh?
Right, he's abandoned.
Okay.
The Cooler Design Studio is where you can buy this pattern if you just want to buy the chart. It's on her site. It's called American Antique Sampler or American Vintage Sampler. It'll be in the description box below. But this version, this magazine version, was in cross stitch and needlework March 2011. Looks like this. It has a lot of specialty stitches. That's why it's not done yet.
Oh, is that what's wrong with it? Okay.
It's not wrong with it.
I mean, right with it is gorgeous, but you're obviously not working on it fast enough. So.
No, this is one of those, has to be daylight hours to work on this one. I have to think too hard.
It's a morning project.
I am done with the fill-in on this section where the words are was a running stitch. That took forever. And all these flowers are queen stitches, but I'm just about done with those. There's some over one section, like this colonial gentleman right here is over one. Parts of the house are over one. It's just gorgeous.
Yes,
but my goal is to have that one finished. I was thinking I had to finish it this year, but I really would like to finish it next year.
I guess if it's a morning project, then it gets up fast.
It's a Saturday morning project, or in the summer. It gets a lot of work in the summer when I'm not working.
I guess you're like halfway towards the bottom. I don't know.
Oh, it's the called for of Verosois Silks on 40 count pear, lakeside pear.
How do you remember all of these?
Because I've been working on it for so long, and I talk about them regularly.
That's true.
The over one section is just a 10th stitch because it's on 40 count. It's just a half stitch. There's no way you could get a full cross in there. I mean, I suppose you could, but it'll look terrible.
Yeah, it would be squishy.
All right. And then about the same time that I restarted the Heaven and Earth design, so 2017, I started Disneyland.
Remind me why you restarted Heaven and Earth Designs?
I either didn't like the fabric. I don't remember. Why did I restart it?
I don't know. Mystery.
I'll have to think about that and go back and hold this. Oh, here it is. Okay, you do this.
Okay.
This one is called Disneyland by Neni Designs. Neni Designs.
So cute.
It is on...
I remember working on this one.
Yes, Catherine has worked on this one for me. I'm pretty sure this is 40 count linen, a Mirage.
Mm.
No, Dwarf. This is 40 count Dwarf by Picture This Plus.
Oh, cute.
These are the parking bobbins that Hannah sells. They are Bob Ease, E-E-Z bobbins. You can buy them on Amazon. They pop open like that so you can wrap the threads around them.
Fun.
And then Hannah adds the button and the magnets so that it will stay put. I love them.
So many fun colors in this one.
I started in the middle doing cross country because this one only has like 48 colors, something like that. So I thought, well, this isn't really a full coverage like I have in Earth Design or Tilton Crafts or Artisy or all of those full coverage companies. And it doesn't have that many colors. I'll just stitch it like I normally stitch, where, you know, you kind of color complete in an area.
Yeah.
And then I got on that first page because I didn't have it in Pattern Keeper then either.
And the narrator came down and said it was not fun.
It was awful. It was not fun. So I said to Catherine, I really want to start this over, or not start it over. I want to switch over to stitching it like I have an Earth Design in my columns that I like to do, but it's going to take me forever. And she said, I'll fix that for you. So she took it home and she did the whole first page and got it all ready to keep going with.
For her birthday / Mother's Day.
Yes. Yes.
So you know how people have
you did that year.
ghostwriters. Am I your ghost stitcher?
And it was all, I remember it was all in the castle right here, that first page.
I remember that.
I started in the middle of the design. This is the very middle right here.
Oh, yeah.
But look how much I've got done since then.
Yeah,
I'm over here in It's a Small World.
Yeah.
This has been more fun. I take it to Disneyland. Whatever section I'm on, I usually make it to Disneyland at least once a year or maybe once every other year. And it's going so slow that I've been able to go to Disneyland every object I've been working on.
Oh,
so
cute.
I have a picture of me sitting in front of
Splash Mountain.
No, I think that is Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Thunder Mountain. Did you know it has a whole story?
I
had no idea.
So I took a picture in front of that when I was working on this part. I took a picture in front of It's a Small World the last time I was there a couple years ago. I have been back. I can't remember if I took a picture then. I took a picture in front of the Matterhorn when I was in front of the castle. So that has been way fun. This WIP parade's going to go on forever if we keep chatting this much about every piece. All right. This one is a Catherine Theron piece.
That always trips me up. I'm like, what? Me? No, not me.
Called Bless This House. It was a class piece. You have to take the class from her to get the kit.
It looks like Planted Earth.
I finished Planted Earth.
You did?
I did.
Oh my gosh!
Right there
it's over there!
It's humongous.
Okay, but what's the real name though? It's not Planted Earth. It's
A Peaceable Kingdom by Catherine Theron. I finished that in the summer sometime if you want to go back and see that on a video. It was huge. But I have 4 or 5 Catherine Theron pieces that I took classes from her.
Yeah.
So I only work on one at a time because they have lots of specialty stitches. And so since I finished
got the same flavor.
Peaceable Kingdom, I'm going to do this one next, Bless This House. I did part of this in the class, and then right after the class, when I could still remember how to do this Montenegrin stitch and turn it any direction I wanted to go, I went ahead and did this Montenegrin border on 2 or I think 3 of the pieces I have that on it. So I went ahead and did that while I could still remember how to do it. Because I got to the point where I could do it without looking at the pattern. I had it in my head. I couldn't do that anymore. And then this one has all of these fun strawberries or raspberries that go around the border. So that will be fun to work on.
Raspberries don't have leaves like that.
But after, you're true. That's true. You're right.
I am true.
After I finished Peaceable Kingdom was about the time I decided on the 23 by 23. I had 23 projects I wanted to finish by the beginning of 2023.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on. Today is December 30th, and I am going to finish 14 today.
Okay.
And it's possible if the planets were aligned just right that I could
Yeah.
finish 15 tomorrow, but probably not. So that's how I'm doing on the 23. Anyway, so this hasn't been worked on at all. I got it all ready, put it in the bag, ready to work on next, but then I started that whole 23 by 23. So January,
Yeah,
this
that
will be
tracks.
this 2 hours every Saturday morning
Okay.
starting in January.
Not the American Sampler.
No. But it's on the WIP Go board. American Sampler is twice, I think.
Okay.
Maybe once. It will have, it's also on a part of my rotation. I'll do a plan video probably on January 2nd. I'll do a plans and my rotation, everything. I'll talk about that. This is another Catherine Theron piece. We took 2 classes from her in the same weekend. It was like 3 days straight. Called An Irish Blessing Sampler. So it is waiting its turn. It will probably be next after Bless This House. So I just have what I got done in the class, which was that A section up there. And then I finished the border on that one, which is so fun when they meet at the bottom.
Oh my gosh. Like, also the most stressful thing in the world.
But this one's kind of big too.
Yeah, it's
I was
huge.
thinking it wasn't as big, but it's
No, it's-
longer than Peaceable Kingdom. Oh, well, no,
But
maybe
it's
not. Maybe it's
skinnier.
about the same. So it's got to be smaller. It's smaller than Peaceable Kingdom. And the border's already done, so hey.
Yeah.
It'll take no time at all.
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
But it was also a kit that you get in the class, all the threads that come with it. Okay, what did I say? Yeah, this one's next. Next is R-Kade
Oh yeah.
by Long Dog
I
Samplers.
remember this one too. So cute.
This is from 2018. This was a Mania start in 2018. I still have 3 pieces left from Mania 2018. They are my, I think Peaceable Kingdom was, oh, I added not Peaceable Kingdom, a stitching shelf. I added a stitching shelf to my Mania lineup. I had started it before that.
That's right.
It's the oldest Mania piece, but then there's these 3. Long Dog Samplers, it's on 40 count fabric. Conifer, picture this plus Conifer. And I got it out getting ready for the WIP parade and realized that the fabric, I know that this is halfway right here.
Oh.
It's about right here, because there's 5 trees and this is tree number 3. So I thought, well, this fabric's way too big. I should cut it down. It's also too big on the bottom. So I thought, oh, I just must have pulled out a fat quarter and then never.
Yeah.
Well, then I started measuring it. This fabric is the right size if it was 40 count.
Oh no.
But picture this plus, when they dye their fabric, I love their fabric. It's nice and thick. It's one of my favorites to work on. But it is always a little smaller than the count because they start with 40 count and then in the dyeing process it shrinks a little bit. So I knew that. But this particular piece, for some reason, as I was measuring it, it's measuring at something like a 45 count.
Oh really?
So it will not be as big as this piece of fabric.
Oh, okay. I was a little worried you were gonna say that it wasn't gonna fit anymore or something.
No, it's going to be much smaller. I bet it ends like right over here somewhere. Because you can see where the middle is.
Yeah. This
is Silks for You Silk. I'm not usually this far away from the camera.
It's because you had to fit 2 chairs in here.
It is Silks for You Silk. I'll get the color for you in a minute. It's in 2 colors of Silks for You. I love their silk. I have a whole hank of both colors. It was kind of an experiment to do it on this dark green. I thought it kind of looked like a really dark forest with the sun kind of.
It absolutely does.
And I didn't write the numbers on here. I will put the numbers in the description box below because Silks for You just comes in numbers. It's PR or something. So I'll list the 2 color numbers in the description box. I keep thinking I need to go faster and I don't think I am. I think I'm going slower.
Come on, chop chop.
This is another one from that 2018 Mania
Yeah.
Patchwork
really
Sampler by Jen Houtman. Catherine gave me this pattern.
I did.
Before, it was either Christmas or my birthday before you started doing cross stitch for my cross stitching on my things for Christmas or my birthday.
Yeah.
And I have restarted it 3 times.
Really?
Which is another reason why it's not very far. I started it on 36 count, and I was just going to use random silks. Whatever silks I had left from other projects, it was just going to be like a scrap quilt, just anything. And then I didn't like the coverage, and I didn't like the colors that were going together. So I thought, no, I can't work. And then I never worked on it because I didn't like it. So I restarted it on 22 count hard anger and decided I was going to pick just purples, blues, and greens out of all of my leftover silk. And I didn't like how that was looking either. I didn't like the way it looked on that 22 count. So I restarted it on, pretty sure it's, oh yeah, it is 46 count antique white linen.
Wow.
And I just have a whole bunch of purples. I started with purple, and then I'll move down into the blues, and then we'll move into the greens. It will be this big. But that one is so fun. It goes pretty quick once you decide which fabric you're going to stitch it on.
Yeah, I feel like you've gotten more particular about fabric.
Because they're all variegated threads. So you just do a motif, and you just, you know, stitch to stitch till that one's done, and then you pick the next motif. So
what did you decide to do about the colors?
I pulled out all the purples, greens, and blues that I had in my stash. And I decided that wasn't enough. So now, whenever I go shopping,
you pick some more.
I pick some more. Like wherever I am, like these are from Stitch West from Almond M&Ms. I bought all of the greens and blues that she had brought with her.
Cute.
Here's some of the blues that I bought from her tiny little skein. She hand dyes silk.
Oh, fun.
Sells them out of her. She lives in an apartment in New York.
Oh, wow.
And then when I was at Stitcher's Paradise, I bought a whole bunch of purples. Oh, and I have some cottage garden threads that I think are going to be beautiful. So I will just I am still just kind of picking a motif and saying, okay, now we're going to do this color. But I think I would like to move from purples into the blues and then into the greens. However it works out.
So you are just
Which makes it a little more, it's not as easy as when you just,
that's part of
you look at the pattern and it goes to this color here.
Yeah.
You have to make choices, and if you don't like it,
listen, we cross stitch not to make choices, but to follow the pattern and relax. I have decided.
You should sit here and stitch.
That's what I was just thinking about doing, since I'm not helping.
Okay, and then this is the other one left from Mania 2018, Sleeping Princess by Mirabilia.
Nice. Oh, this is the one with that chandelier.
Catherine took this one home this year for my Christmas,
that was this
for my
year,
birthday and Mother's Day.
Oh my gosh, feels like a lifetime ago.
And finished. I had the lady done and just barely a little bit of this canopy on the canopy bed.
Yeah, you were like working up the sides.
And Catherine finished this whole.
And I looked at it and I was like, that looks miserable. Let's go.
Except for the beads. It has lots of beads on it, but we can't put those on yet.
Yeah.
Because it would get, the Q snaps would not work well with that.
Yeah. Not happy.
So she did that whole top part. So now I can go down and stitch on the fun part, which is all those fun colored mattresses.
See, I just know you well enough at this point. I'm like, she's not going to want to work on this part.
She was like, this top part is not her favorite. She's wanting to get to those beautiful mattresses.
Yeah. This looks complicated. Let's get it out of the way. It's always borders. I was surprised it wasn't a border this time. It was just, but it was these finicky like Krynic threads that are kind of miserable.
Yes, it's got sparkly Krynic on it and some back. She did all that back stitching too. And the lady,
I know she hates.
Oh, and she fixed the eye.
Oh,
she said, Mom, I looked at the pattern and your eye isn't right. So she fixed it for me.
I can't remember if it might have been the wrong color or like it needed to be thicker or something. So now it's correct.
She's beautiful. So this is 32 count water lily linen, 2 strands of the called for DMC over 2 fabric threads.
It's fun. The colors are really good.
That is a fun one. And Catherine is at work right now.
Don't tell my boss I'm supposed to be working.
So if she just jumps up and heads out, that's because she's had to answer the
like,
phone.
I don't think anybody else is really like working today, you know? It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
And it's the
New
day
Year's
before
Eve
New
tomorrow.
Year's. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
I don't think
It's one of
anybody's
those
actually working today.
soft work days.
So I checked my email. I'm on
Oh,
top
good.
of it. It's fine.
Good. This is another Catherine Theron piece that I took as a class.
Oh yeah.
It's called Morning Has Broken.
You must really like her style if you have so many of these.
I do. I saw this one finished.
Oh, actually, they all have houses on it. Everything makes
Yes.
sense.
My friend Lynn
Lynn.
stitched this and as a finished piece, and I thought it was the most gorgeous thing I had ever seen.
Well, you know, everything that Lynn done is
Yes.
the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen.
The biggest problem is that all of these little blue flowers, well, most of these little blue flowers are, oh my gosh, I just forgot what they're called. It'll come to me in a minute. It's a specialty stitch that I'm going to have to practice for a little while before I can do it.
It's not a queen stitch, is it?
No, I love queen stitches. I don't mind them at all.
Okay.
Why can I not think of what it's called?
It's my renters this time.
Oh no. Nope, it'll come to me. But that one will wait until I only do one Catherine Theron at a time, so that one will come later.
Probably for the best.
Yes, just focus on one at a time. Saturday mornings, 2 hours. This one is Band of Roses, 1845 by Cross Sticks Antique. We'll just cover up Catherine's face over here while she's texting.
While I'm texting. Yeah. I'm not old enough to have renters.
Yes, you are.
Am I?
I can't believe you're that old. That just means you're very smart,
Oh my
money-wise. Cross Stitch Antiques. I'm using the called for DMC, except this top part. I used a dark blue silk that was almost the exact same color as the DMC because I wanted it to, those letters to be a little darker and fill in a little better. Silk is a little thicker than cotton. I'll put the name of the silk in the description box below. And then this light blue alphabet right here was also a silk.
Jeez, you're gonna write a novel at the bottom of this video.
Yes. But the rest of it is the called for DMC. I'm down into the Band of Roses. It's so exciting.
Yay!
But this one's been languishing. It needs some love.
Wishing I love it.
It is, and it's also on the WIP board, so it will get some love.
So
this
what?
year.
Really fast, like 15 seconds. What's the WIP board?
Oh, it's a Facebook group called WIPGO 2023.
Okay.
It is hosted by, created, brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She has a YouTube channel as well as an Instagram account. I think her Instagram is just Jessie Does Stuff. Her Flosstube is Jessie Marie Does Stuff. It's a bingo board with 25 squares. Unless you do free in the middle, then it's 24 squares.
That makes sense.
You just put, you can put anything you want on it. You can put projects on that board. You can put goals. Just I want to do 10 hours on a sampler, or I just want to do 10 hours on a project. And mine is all projects on all the days. And then she calls 2 numbers every month. So it's just 2 numbers a month. And then you work on whatever your goal is, whatever you put your goal as. She's always saying it's your board, your rules, do whatever you want. Whatever you have goal and piece or whatever you have written on that square, you focus on those 2 during that month.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's just a good way to get work on either 24 projects. You can put the same project on several squares. However many projects you want to get touched this year, it's a good way to.
Yeah.
I think this is 40 count Lakeside linen. Oh, seems like I have it stuck right here somewhere. 40 count maritime white linen by Lakeside. 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. Oh, I should not zip those up. The zippers are noisy. This is Churchyard Christmas. Wasn't the first Stitch West we went to in 2019?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, that's when I started this one. We're into 2019 now. Praiseworthy Stitches, A Churchyard Christmas. I started a Bump and D night at Stitch West, and then I started this one just a few weeks later. I finished Bump and D night this year. It's done. So, but still have this one.
Yeah, it had to have been 2019.
It is on the called for fabric, which is 32 count. Is this one Mirage? Maybe this is the one that's Mirage. With the called for threads, 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads. And it's also been languishing. I didn't even work on it during the Christmas season because I was so focused on my 23 by 23.
Oh my gosh.
The poor thing.
I love Christmas.
The red is a sparkly treasure braid, and so is the green of the words down here. It's so cute.
Yeah.
My favorite part is this camel right here that has there's a nativity right here in the middle, and this camel has wandered off.
Really? That's so funny.
Yeah, he's clear over here by
oh my gosh.
this house.
Come on, Camel, get it together.
Making me laugh.
Yeah.
I said that. Called for threads, right?
Yeah. Well, you did now, either way, so.
Oh, how come that got out of its bag?
I'm using DMC because I'm basic. That's okay.
This one is my second Heaven and Earth design.
Oh yeah, the season's one.
This is all Kim's fault. And Marie and Catherine, because she said it was gorgeous that day too, but she didn't start it because she was smart.
How am I responsible for this?
Kim and Marie and I started it.
Yes.
It is a mini Heaven and Earth. It's the mini version of this. Heaven and Earth Designs has both versions. I'm doing the mini version. Kim has since decided not to work on it, and Marie too, so
what?
I'm the only one still working on it.
Rude.
25 count Evenweave. 1 strand of floss over 1 fabric thread, full cross.
They can't just peer pressure you into the project and then abandon it. What the heck?
And I have a serious problem with
completionism.
No, well, yes. Well, no, I finished like 20 something this year.
What are you really gonna say?
Social, like your friends are like, let's start this one, and I'm like, oh, that's
so
gorgeous.
funny.
Let's start it.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
This one is the furthest along. It's like at 48%, something like that.
Ooh, I'm at 2.15%. If you wanted to know.
This one is, because it's the mini, it'll only be like 10 by 10 inches, something like that, 11 by 11. And this whole middle section is white, and I'm not stitching. Anything that's got big sections of white, I'm not stitching, because the fabric is white, and it will just show as white.
Yeah, that's totally legit.
But look, I actually have a Heaven and Earth full coverage that looks like something.
It looks like, your books look like something too. It's fine.
And these cute needle minders were more that I got from my daughter-in-law Hannah that she made. They are fall ones to match this kind of
so cute.
Fall and kind of
fall
foresty
animals. Yeah, foresty.
Yeah. Forest animals.
Yeah.
There's ladybugs in the forest, right?
Yeah, totally.
Called for DMC. I already said all that.
See, this is proof that I actually stitch now.
Yes, you've seen it on camera.
Yeah.
Catherine is stitching.
Yep.
This is Lost No More. It's a Dimensions Gold kit.
Oh yeah, that one's really pretty.
And it is also coming along nicely and really should be finished this year. I have decided to start stitching this on Sundays.
Good choice. So
it will get several hours every Sunday. It's on the kit fabric, which is 18 count Ada. And I have made it to the corner over here. I am stitching on this. It's either the Jerusalem wall or it's a building in Jerusalem. But a lot of this section over here is just tent stitch. just a half cross, so it will
Oh,
go
it's
much
like
quicker.
atmospheric.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like fading and, you know, it's far away.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So it goes really fast. So this section should go way faster than this tree over here, which is where I've been stuck for the last
It's so
year or
pretty.
two. There's lots of confetti.
Did you hear my stomach? Apparently I'm
Yes.
hungry. Wonder. I was like,
You
I
could
bet
leave
she's
and go get a
giggling.
snack.
No.
Um,
Fine.
The kit fabric and the kit floss, using whatever strands the
Whatever they
directions
provided
tells
for
me
you.
to do.
Yeah.
It's mostly 2/2, but every once in a while you're using 3 and a tent stitch,
Yeah.
or 1 and a tent stitch to make the 3D effect. This is Hoity Toity, and it's upside down. My Long Dog samplers. It is on 40 count mallow linen. I am not using the called for threads. Missus Sadus Silks, MISSUS SED, I can never remember if it's AS or US, Silks. I found her on Etsy. She sells silk. I believe she's in Spain. She does the most beautiful overdyed silks. She had a conversion on her site for this piece. It was a hoity-toity conversion. So I bought that conversion. I'm using her silks. She had a pink in there because the original pattern has a pink in it. And I am not using the pink. And I added 2 or 3 colors of red instead. And then there was a couple of her colors that I switched to a different symbol. But it is mostly her conversion. I will put all of that in the description box below. And this is the one that I had several comments that said, I wonder how long it will take until Catherine has to work on this border.
No way. You did most of it.
Catherine has not worked on this piece.
Yeah.
I have done all of
Not
this
once.
myself. Look at that. Most of the border. That's what I'm trying to finish right now, is to finish up the border, and then I'll come back and fill in.
I guess the border is very different.
And it is over halfway. It's like at 50-something%, 60. No, 70. I think it's at 70%.
I was gonna say it looks like 70 to me.
So I am very excited.
I guess you always get hung up on the borders that are too repetitive. So I guess this
Yes,
one
and
is
this one is not repetitive.
Mm.
Well, okay, this bottom part does because it's that same little flower over and over again.
Yeah.
The sides match each other, but I did this side over a year ago, probably 2 years ago,
Oh,
so I don't
okay.
remember it. So
So,
this side's like brand new because I don't remember what was down here. And the top wasn't too bad.
That's so funny.
1 strand of silk over 2 fabric threads.
Mm.
And this, I believe, was Mania in 2020.
It's a really cute bag too.
I love it. It is a brass button, the brass button shop bag.
Oh, it's the same one that I have. My sunflower bag, because I have a problem.
I told her. Why? No, I think she had that in her shop, and I'm like, okay, that one's for Catherine. This is Serenity Harbor by the Bay Needle Arts. Is very tall and very skinny.
It's so cute though.
I'm using the called for DMC, although I have put in a couple of over dyes. Things that are going to be large blocks of color, I changed to an over dye that was very similar to the DMC.
Oh yeah, the water looks awesome like that.
Yes, the water is 2 dinky dyes, silks. And I did it in little puddle shapes so that it would variegate like and look like water. The greens, all of the greens of the grass down here are going to be over dyed, either cotton or silk. Whatever I had that was closest to the color, that the DMC color.
Mm.
And I don't think it's halfway, especially since this top part is mostly not stitched.
Yeah.
And the rest of the way down is
It's
pretty much full
full
coverage.
coverage.
It's full coverage all the way to the bottom. I'll let you look at the picture again.
Yeah.
So, no, maybe a
No.
third, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a
Maybe a
third.
fourth because this is not full coverage up here.
Yeah.
You have to buy She has an Etsy store, which is where I got it in PDF version,
Oh.
but it was a stitch along originally. And she still sells it in 12 separate leaflets. You have to sell 12 separate PDF files and you have to pay for each one.
Got it.
It is on 40 count Lakeside Vintage Lentil, 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads.
Etsy is just the best.
I know. It's like one-stop shopping.
I know, for everything.
I mean, I know they charge the makers, you know, a percentage for their service.
It's cheaper than selling it on Amazon. Amazon's worse, or like a brick and
Well,
mortar
and now
store.
it used to be the only choice, but now there's lots of other format
Ways.
venues where people can sell their stuff.
That's true.
This one is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. Started this in the middle of the pandemic, 2020, somewhere in the summer there.
It's got like the
And
masks and stuff on it.
Serenity Harbor is the only one left from the 2020 mania. It was
Oh,
the
man.
last one.
So what happened in 2018?
I started a lot of really big things in
Oh.
2018. I got smarter after that and didn't start so many big things. I love this one. This one is so calming to work on.
Oh yeah, it's green.
And my magnets are stuck together. What the heck? Oh, I see. And that is sideways.
It's huge.
It is. And this fabric is cut to size.
Oh my gosh. It's so cute though.
I think it's 40%, I want to say. 40 something. 42 or something. I love this piece. I love working on it. I love how the colors are turning out. It's a monochromatic. It's charted as a monochromatic, so I picked my own colors. This is 36 count antique white Evenweave, and I'm using, no, not Evenweave, it is linen. And I'm using Sulky, S-U-L-K-Y, 12 weight cotton thread, which is thicker. You just use 1 strand of it. It comes off the spool as 1 strand. And some people say it's as thick as 2 strands of DMC. Some people say it's more like a strand and a half. I'm using 2 colors, that cactus variegated color green, and then I have a teal blue that I'm doing all the animals in.
Cute.
I got to the spider and couldn't decide if that was an animal, if insects were animals.
So what did you decide?
I did it in green.
Oh. Oh yeah, I guess they don't have any like actual, they're just backstitched spiders. Huh?
Yeah. But I could have I have some DMC floss that I'm using in a dark green and a teal color to do the backstitch. Because the sulky is a little too thick. I was just losing the
the definition.
detail in the backstitch, so I went to 1 strand of DMC.
Like, works. Totally works.
So you can buy sulky 12 weight on a petite skein like this. Oh, and I'm doing the border around it in this solid dark green color.
Oh.
That very outside border.
Clever.
Or you can buy them in a king spool that has 330 yards. This is the cactus color, which is 4086. It's a variegated green.
It's very pretty.
And this was the dark green I chose for the outside border to go with it. This is the teal that I'm doing all the animals in. It is $10.95. This is a petite spool. And then the DMC I'm using for the back stitching is $39.10 and $5.20.
Yep, it's all your favorite colors. Makes total sense.
And there's something about that sulky thread, because you just pulling it out and cutting it, and you don't have to lay the threads, railroad them at all, because it's just 1 strand, and that weight of cotton on this 36 count is my favorite.
It's all about the feel of it for you, isn't it?
You know how well it feels good and it looks good.
Yes.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
When you get those 3 that come together,
it's a nice feedback loop for you.
Yes, it's perfect. And then later that year, actually, I wonder if this was 2021 or was it still 2020? Yep, in September of 2020, probably in August, Long
Well,
Dog
so we're doing
Samplers
with our
came out
lives.
with another pattern called the New Normal. Oh, that's my colored version, sorry. It is a monochromatic, it looks like this. And all of the things in it refer to the pandemic.
Really? Like what?
Here, I'll let you look at it while I read the page that talks about it. Let me find it. Because it is cool. And she didn't even say all the things. I keep finding things as I stitch it. I'm like, oh yeah, that reminds me of this during the pandemic, or that during the pandemic, or that makes me think of this.
It looks like a lot of animals.
Not that page. It's in here.
I was gonna say, watch it not be in here.
It's probably honest. No, there, right there. Okay, you look at this one.
Okay.
I'll hold up this one.
Okay.
Oh, except we should probably hold it right side up.
It's hard to tell with these.
Okay. A page in history is a term used to describe an important moment in the narrative of a place, time, or race of people. The new normal finds itself beneath that same umbrella, marking as it does the subtle ways in which life has changed globally as we all strive to find a safe way of coping with once familiar situations in a post-COVID world. The new normal really is more than just a sampler. Like its forerunner pandemic has earned the description a chart in time. The emphasis of this piece is on bubbles, those protective spheres that we have of necessity had to create around ourselves. Some have only one occupant, while others shelter small groups of creatures seeking safety together. The two houses would normally have been in the same field, but now they are separated by a great distance. Oh, the two horses. Sorry, not houses.
See, there are no houses.
The two horses would normally have been in the same field, but now they are separated by a great distance and are isolated. The swan is part of a family unit of cats, and the rabbits are clustered together hoping for the best, although the intruding hand warns them, don't turn your back for a second or you could so easily get picked off. That's creepy.
Yeah.
But hope is the last thing ever to be lost, so as we all struggle to readjust, you can see tentative attempts being made to move between or connect the bubbles. The two stags are meeting up outdoors, socially distanced. Birds still venture out to seek food for themselves and their young. Ships continue to move across the seas, keeping commerce and vital supplies moving. Little Bill and his twin brother are key workers on one of the boats, risking their safety for the rest of us all. And boys will be boys. A little lad has gone off to do a spot of fishing as his school has been closed for months and he's bored.
Oh my gosh.
The closer you look, the more meaning you will discover in this unique sampler. There is a long way still to go, but our journey to the new normal has already begun. There's even a lost little dragon included to make you smile, and a space rocket being launched right up at the top because progress never seems to be halted. Despite everything else going on, and SpaceX continued to launch Starlink satellites only months after the initial virus outbreak. Life goes on. Welcome to the new normal.
Huh.
Sorry,
That's
that was
neat.
really long, but I thought it was really cool.
Sorry to just like stall you out on this project for 10 minutes.
And
Yeah, that is really
I just love all the
little details.
The ship down here at the bottom that she was talking about also makes me think of that hospital ship that they sent to, that the army, that the military sent to New York when it was so bad in New York because they were running out of hospital beds.
Yes.
But just while I'm stitching on it, there's just things that make me think. All the birds and little animals that are everywhere made me think of how we spent a lot of time outside. You know, you'd go for like a walk every day just to get some sun and be outside. And
there was actually a lot of Google searches apparently that went, have the birds gone louder.
Yes, and there were it felt like there were just birds everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Oh, I should show the piece.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's pretty.
I picked my own colors using Sulky 12 weight again.
That's so fun.
This one is on 40 count linen, which also works very well with Sulky 12 weight cotton. And I just chose, I think this is 8 colors. I can't remember. They'll be in the description box below. And I'm just putting them where I think they'll look good. And I am working, I finished the rabbit bubble and I'm starting work on the trees bubble right here.
I swear, it's so hard to start a project now and not change a bunch of things about it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Personalize it.
This tree bubble has a huge, what looks like to me, a huge pine tree
Oh.
coming right out of the bubble. And that made me think about how even though we were all socially distanced and isolated and everything, nature was so important. Getting out into the
Yes.
trees and nature, if you could, was so helpful. Oh, and I bought all of these colors in King's bowls because I wasn't sure how much I'd need. And they are all in there.
Nice. Cute little red bag.
Yes, made by my friend Victoria at Victoria's Crafty Corner. She's a bus driver
Oh.
in Georgia.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and they changed their channel name, her and her daughter, to Two Georgia Peaches.
So cute.
They do very fun videos. The next one is Beachcomber, and Catherine has worked on this one this year as well.
Yes, that was a good one.
By Neni Designs. I saw this on Georgia Girl Stitches YouTube. Hello, Megan. And it was just gorgeous. She's working, she started in the middle right here and started moving out, and I just thought that's the prettiest thing I've ever seen. I have to start that.
Yeah, the colors
So
are
I did.
pretty much the best.
I'm using the called for DMC on 25 count Evenweave 1/1 full cross.
And I did the border on this one.
Catherine did this color all the way around so that we could define the border, and then she did a whole bunch of
It's like random squares
in
there.
between.
I started doing random squares and I was like, maybe I can just kind of lattice work this out. And then I was like, wait, there's a border. It doesn't look like there's a border, but there is.
There is.
We did all that.
I started doing it as a diagonal this way. I would do one square at a time, and I was doing it in a diagonal, and I thought, well, okay, I'll work out this way, and then I'll work out this way, because this was going to be 4 of the exact same thing, 4 times, and I really struggle with that.
Yeah.
I hate stitching the same thing over and over again.
Laughing at her working on it. I'm like, this is a really
So I thought,
repetitive
if
pattern.
I go clear to the, then move slowly up here, then by the time I have to do this diagonal over here, I will have forgotten this, and I don't know. And then I started doing cross country, because it's kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
You just start with a color, and then you just
work your way through.
Stitch until you run out of thread wherever it's needed. And this one is on Pattern Keeper, so it's easy to do that.
Oh good.
And this is by the brass. This bag was made for me by the Brass Button Shop as well.
With the wonky.
Because I graduated from BYU.
Yes. Didn't she?
Yes, and she's a U of U fan. So she said, well, I guess I could make you a BYU one, but I might have to close my eyes. So I said, well, that'd be hilarious if the lines were all
crooked,
because she had her eyes closed. So she purposely stitched it with crooked lines.
that are very symmetrical and beautiful.
Yes, yes. And sent me this needle minder to go with it. And I have a little project pouch somewhere that also goes with it. Okay, this next one is all Sharon's fault.
Wow, you really do succumb to peer pressure.
Yes, I do. Actually, I think I thought I was going to start this, and Sharon decided to join me. So I guess it's my fault. This is a kit called Kingdom of Books. If you translate the title of the company, it's Make It With Your Own Hands.
Cute.
And we decided to do 1/2 a book a month. We figured it was going to take us 3 years. And then in September, I was getting a little bogged down, well, especially with my 23 by 23. And Sharon was a couple of months behind where I was. So I just stopped working on it in September, you know, to let Sharon catch up.
Oh, yeah,
That was the reason, yeah. But she just sent me a picture, and she is caught up. And so
so now you're in trouble.
So now we are back on. We are going to finish this middle section in January, I believe.
The colors are just
and
so
then
vibrant.
we will be on to a 1/2 a book a month for the other half. The titles are in Russian. My good friend Mary translated them into English for me, and I am stitching them in English so that I know what they mean. But I love the Russian feel of it.
Mm.
And the book's titles are all about the Netherlands. And so I believe, and there are houses in the Netherlands along the canals that look
that's
like,
right.
they're tall and skinny and they look like books. So I believe that the artist of this artwork was, meant this to look like the Netherlands. I'm not using the kit fabric. It came with 14 count Aida and was a huge piece of fabric. This is 18 count Aida over dyed. But I am using the kit floss.
It is gorgeous.
Oh, and I'm not stitching this wood background up here or this wood shelf down here. I'm doing just a couple of rows underneath the books to give it a shadow and anchor them, and I'm doing just a little bit around the houses so that the white detail on the houses pop. Otherwise I am not stitching the background. That's why I picked this overdyed color that would kind of look like
wood, but
Yes.
not really.
Yes, yes, yes. This is Prairie Schooler ABCs, and it's just called ABC. They did all the alphabet, but every leaflet is just called, this one's VWX. That's just the name of them. That is the pattern. This one is a Y and Z. I'm stitching them all on the same piece of fabric. It is a 28 count creamish colored Evenweave. I hope it's in the description box below. Can't remember what it is. Pretty sure it is. They are not all the same size. So I have deleted, cut off the edges on some of them to make them all be 70 by 100. And then I am going to lay them out like this. And to do 4 rows of 6, I had to combine letters to make it only 24 letters instead of 26 squares. So G and H are combined and V and W are combined because they happen to be pictures that went really well together. So I'll just do one main picture and maybe the little picture with the letter on it together in the same block.
That'll be cute.
Oh, and I changed the red. The red was so dark that it did not show up in that black square.
Oh.
So you couldn't even see the A and the B and the C. So I changed them to a lighter red that is used later in the other blocks. It'll be in the description box below. Oh, there's a needle attached to that. That's the problem. Why do we have... Oh, I must have parked this thread because I knew I was going to need it later. But I have A, B, and almost C done.
Yay.
But it will be
It kind of looks
this
like
big.
Those ones we always used to do that were in the big black squares, and why can't I remember?
Hawkrun Hollow.
That one. Yep,
Mhm.
it looks like
Yes.
Hawkrun Hollow.
And
to
I
me.
miss working on a Hawkrun Hollow, and this kind of reminds me of working on a Hawkrun Hollow.
Yeah.
Because you're doing one block at a time, and you feel like you have a finish. And one strand of the called for DMC over one linen thread. 1 over 1 on 28 count full cross. Otherwise it would be humongous.
Yeah.
All right, this has got to be 2021 because I went to StitchCon that year and I saw Lisa Stitching the Dream working on this. And she was working on the Christmas one, a red one. And I said, what is that? And I found this blue one. Die Farben des Wassers, The Colors of Water, by Der Workstop für Historisch Stickmuster.
Okie dokie.
Using the called for Avera Soie silks on 46 count antique white linen.
Oh my gosh, it's pretty.
And this is what I have so far. This one is also very calming to work on. It's got very calming colors, but each square is only 2 colors.
Oh.
So you
Yeah.
stitch whatever the motif is, and then you just fill in the
Mhm.
rest with whatever the second color is. But the colors move in and out of each other so beautifully that it doesn't get boring.
Yeah.
It's
Huh.
just gorgeous. I love it. They have several designs similar to this type of pattern.
Yeah.
Might have to do another one someday
Yeah.
after this one is done. One
So
strand
nice.
of silk over 2 fabric threads. And then I also saw Lisa at StitchCon, Stitching the Dream, working on the 12 Days of Christmas, all on one piece of fabric by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I decided I needed to do that too. She has come out with 7 so far of the days, and she just keeps putting them out, so I'm sure the next one will come out. We'll get several more this year. I am up to the 3rd day of Christmas, so I'm doing the square version all together on one piece of fabric. You can also do them as little trees.
Oh,
You could have 12 little trees for the 12 Days of Christmas.
that would be so cute.
It is on 46 count antique white linen.
Oh yeah.
I love the colors in this one. It's not your typical Christmas, that really,
Poppy, like.
yeah, I want to say
red and
garish
green.
red and green. It's a much more muted colors.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Subdued.
Subdued, yes, subdued color palette. I love it. I did change these houses. They did have, you could put initials in them for your family. And I copied Lisa, Stitching the Dream, and left blank spots for windows and doors instead, because I thought that was so cute when she did it. I think I will put the year on each square. If this one had a year on it, this one does not. I need to go back and add it somewhere of what year I worked on that square. I'll put the year, whatever year it is, so that you can kind of see the progression through of how long it took. So this one has a year. This one I just need to add one in here somewhere.
Yeah. It's a very Yule Christmas instead of Christmas Christmas.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Yes,
And I'm
it is.
using the called for NPI silks. 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. And I didn't work on that one during Christmas either.
What?
But it's on the WIP board.
You're always just like shooting towards these goals at the end of the year.
Yes, which I decided next year I'm not going to do that.
No?
Next year my goal is going to be, okay, after 12 by 12 on New Year's Eve. I'll do a video about that in a couple days. I think next year's goal is going to be finish 2 before I start 1.
Back to the original.
The WIP count goes down. I mean, I would love to, I like being in the 20s. Remember when I used to tell you I would really love to have like 6 or 8?
Yeah.
I've decided that 20s is much more fun because like there's such a variety that for any holiday or any season or any event, you'd be like, this is the perfect piece to work on today. Because I'm very much a seasonal stitcher. Like I want to stitch on summer in the summer and I want to stitch on Christmas at Christmas.
So funny.
Or if you're doing a challenge for a challenge group or something, you've got something that will work. And I like the variety of during the week of switching around to several different projects.
Okay, that makes sense.
But right now I have 43, soon to be 42 later today, maybe 41 by tomorrow projects.
What in the world
And
happened?
I'm thinking 20 would be better because you can't get to that. I can't get to that many in a year and feel like I made significant progress on them because there's so many of them that are so big.
Yes.
Okay, this is also started July of 21, Zimmerman coverlet. It is on 56 count antique white linen.
56?
1 strand
Good grief.
of variegated DMC. It is 121. It is the most gorgeous color. It's just the variegated DMC.
I don't think I've ever even heard of
1
56
strand of
count.
floss over 2 fabric threads. I have to have my stronger readers on when I do this one.
Yeah, you would.
Did I show? I didn't show the picture.
Oh my gosh. This is like stitching on just like regular.
I know there's a picture in here somewhere. Like regular fabric.
Yeah.
Like your tablecloth is made
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of.
exactly.
Zimmerman coverlet by Modern Folk Embroidery and Maximum Power Cross Stitch Hour. I can't think of your name. Starts with an E. It was based on a coverlet that she had in her family. And it's the pattern is just this much, and then you repeat it 3 times for this model photo. I might do just 1 repeat. I'm going to see how I feel after I get 1 repeat done. Because it is, it takes a lot of concentrate just because the fabric is so tiny.
Yeah.
I kind of have to think hard when I'm working. It's not as easy. It doesn't flow as easy as some of the, like Pandemic.
Yeah. It reminds me of Grandma's dishes.
But yes, the Delft blue dishes that she
yeah.
has. That variegated DMC is variegating on this so gorgeously.
Yeah,
I'm not doing anything special. I'm just cutting it and using it where it is. I do, when I start a new thread, if the section I'm stitching in is lighter, then I start on the lighter end of the thread. If it's darker, I start with the darker end of the thread.
Yeah.
It's the only fussy stitching that I'm doing. I just think that is so pretty.
Yeah, it is.
I resisted for a long time, and then every time I saw someone show it on a Flosstube, I just stare at it like, that is the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen.
It is. It really is.
It is very pretty.
Huh.
And it would be, if I do all 3 repeats, it would be this big. On 56 count.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine.
Did I say 1 strand of floss over 1 fabric?
You have now.
Avalanche over here.
Yeah.
All right, this one is Sharon's fault. This one is. This is my 3rd Heaven and Earth design called Autumn. I call it Autumn Cat. Sharon was working on this, and I resisted for a long time, over like a year, and every time she showed it to me, I thought, I have to start that. I have to start that. That was the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. And it's small. It's not like a huge Heaven and Earth design because you don't have to stitch the background. It's just this cat shape. It's only 323 by 216.
Whatever you have to tell yourself to sleep at night. I'm just teasing.
It only has this many colors.
Okay, all right.
Not
crazy.
This case was made by Fireweed Lane on Etsy.
Cute. I mean, that is what you said about Disneyland too.
Yes, it's not that big. It's
not that big, and it's only 48 colors.
I'm doing mine on 25 count Evenweave, 1/1 full cross with the called for DMC. And I've started up here in the middle of the cats. This is the middle of the cat's back. And I think that needle minder is the most perfect needle minder for this. These bobbins were from Hannah, my daughter-in-law Hannah, SunshineMamasDesigns. There's even some sparkly thread in here somewhere. I haven't used it yet. And I think this bag is the perfect bag for it.
Yeah, it actually is.
Made by Cross Stitch Fancies. It is a beautiful bag, very well made. And now, this is January. This was my New Year, New Start last year.
Okay.
And I had to restart it like 3 times. And so then I was so sick of it by the end of January that I haven't worked on it since.
Oh my gosh.
But now I'm so excited to work on it again. I think the blue and white ones really call to me in January, in the winter. I don't know what it is. This one is Marquois Mystery. Marquois, I don't know. It's French.
So why did you have to restart this one 3 times?
I'll tell you. This is by Isabelle Hacourt Vautier. I have had this in my stash forever, but you can still buy it. If you search her name and that title, it will come up with the French site where you can buy this PDF if you like. And it is alphabet alternated by squares of objects. I just think it's the coolest thing. I decided to do mine in blues and whites.
Of course.
I tried it at first on a tan color fabric because I thought the blue and the white and the tan would be really pretty together, because I saw another project that was similar to that.
Yeah.
But it looked terrible. And I didn't like, I can't remember if I didn't like the silk I was using either. And then I wanted a little bit of sparkly white in it. So I kept trying different kinds of sparkly white. And I think I started it on 3 different fabrics, 2 different tans, a lighter tan and a darker tan. And then I finally decided it was just going to go on white. And that I would add a little bit of tan.
Oh, as you go.
As I go. So there's a little bit of sparkly white as the highlight on the letters. That is charted in the original chart. I think it was supposed to be a darker red and a lighter red on the letters.
Oh, yeah.
But then that tan that I'm adding to the in-between blocks, I'm just kind of putting it in where a shadow might go. I'm making that up as I go along.
Right.
But I really like that blue and that white and that kind of an ecru. It's kind of an ecru color.
Yeah. It's a very wintry theme.
It is. It does look very wintry. And this I tried out 4 or 5 different sparkly threads before I settled on Petite Treasure Braid PB10. It's very sparkly white. And I love that, just that slight, you're right, it's like an ice, some sparkly ice and some blue. Oh, I just think that's the most gorgeous thing. So I'm all ready to work on it now.
Oh, good.
It is on a 46 count antique white linen using Glorianna silk in the navy. And then the lighter blue is Dinky Dye's Pacific Ocean. And then the tan ecru color I'm using is DMC 644. 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. Okay, we're just gonna start throwing them on the floor.
You can have a mess in here after you're finished.
I figured when I clean up, I need to check every bag and make sure that there is a project card in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I need to steal a bunch of the Q-snaps for 12 by 12
Oh
tomorrow.
goodness.
This is the project cards that I use. They're made by S. Ward Designs on Etsy, SWARD. She has several different kinds where you can track hours or amount of stitches. This one just tracks which days you worked on it. This one is a 3-year one, so it's got 3 years on it, and you can just color in the days you worked on it. She also has 5-year ones in case you have a huge project like that one.
Yes,
and then there's space at the top to write the name of the project, the designer, what the fabric is, what flosses you were using. And I love that because when I'm doing a floss tube and I can't remember, I can just pull the card out. And as you've already read on the card, this is roasted chicken with potatoes.
What?
It is a kit by RTO. Look at those chickens. Can you just hear them saying, roasted chicken and mashed potatoes? Like the mama, I think one is a mama chicken and she's like, what? And the little baby chicken's like, what? I just love the colors and the look on their face just makes me laugh.
Hang on. This is ridiculous. It's hilarious.
And I really wanted to try an RTO kit. I've heard a lot about them and I love it. I am not using the kit fabric. I am using 36 count Evenweave in an off-white color. But I am using the kit floss, 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads, because I love that full coverage look of 2 strands of floss on a 36 count or 18 count.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the little baby chicken is all done with all the back stitching and everything. I just need to finish this. This was on my 23 by 23 list. Didn't make it, but it's close. Should definitely be finished next year.
So cute. Oh my gosh. Very watercolory.
I love the watercolor look to it. I love the bright colors. I really like bright colors.
I have just never known you to stitch a chicken before, so I'm surprised.
There's another one. There's a saying I heard back when you guys were still all at home called "Raising children is like being pecked to death by chickens." It just made me laugh. I mean, I love my children. I wouldn't have changed anything. Children are so worth it. But some days, that's what it feels like. And then I was at Keepsakes in Ohio, and they had just a little freebie chart with just the words charted out that said that saying. So I took one, and then I thought, I have got to find a chicken chart.
To go with it.
And I have two possibilities. I'll pull those out in my next video and show them to you, because I've been on the lookout since then for a chicken chart that I really liked, that I could just put that saying at the bottom.
But yeah, no, it really is.
But the look on their face, just of that one, just made me laugh.
But they do. They just need something all the time.
Well, now the bin's falling off. This is Mania 2022. This is the Primavera in Città by Corachete Agogo. She is Italian. She has one of these same bunnies outside doing outside activities for every season.
Really?
I just think they're the cutest things ever. I got it as a PDF off of her Etsy site, I believe.
Aww.
I mean, look, one's watering flowers, standing on a carrot on top of a ladder. I mean, that can't be safe.
No.
How's she even doing that?
Not OSHA approved, that's for sure.
There's a little florist shop. I love all these houses along the top. I love the colors, the pink and the green, because pink and green together are one of my favorite combinations ever. And it just ticked all the boxes. It was so cute. This one is on natural, I believe. 46 count raw or natural with the called for DMC, 1 strand of floss over 1 fabric thread, and my magnets are stuck together again. Wow, those are some strong magnets.
Yeah, you know they're bad when you have to like slide them sideways.
Oh, because it's 2 of these kind of magnets, that's why. And that's where I am so far. I started in the middle, worked over to the side. I'm doing the Bringo activity in January with the monthly magazine challenge group. And this is on my Bringo board, so I get to pull it out and work on it. It's just so cute. I love this one. I might have to do the other seasons when I finish this one.
Yeah, they'd be cute all hanging next to each other.
Wouldn't they though?
Yeah.
Or you could just put up,
like swap it out.
Yeah, swap it out. Put up whatever one is the season.
You have to put it on your season board.
This last year, I swear I started 8 seasonal things, like where there's one for every season. There's something about seasonal right now that I don't know. This was also a Mania start this year, Fairy Square by Neni Designs. I started with the DMC colors, like I laid them all out, and then I took out the oranges and made those teals. I changed the greens. I changed several of the color. And I have a mock-up of, this is without the back stitching, with the colors that I chose.
These lovely little mushroom houses.
My friend Colette, the Highway Stitcher is her Flosstube channel. She gave me this pattern because she said it looks like my wee village, and she is so right.
Yes, 100%.
It is on 46 count Frost by Bestitch Me. I love this fabric. I need to buy some more of this fabric. So it's going to be quite tiny because it's 46 count.
Yeah, but still.
So tiny little village. That's that top, almost done with the top of that square.
I mean, I guess that's the idea, that it's tiny, right?
Yes, that's true.
Oh,
it's very petite.
Yeah, it is. It just makes it look so detailed.
Like that one is fun to work on. I love that one. The called for DMC, oh no, not the called for DMC. The conversion that I did. 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. But I did use all DMC.
Mm.
It is DMC.
No finicky other fabrics
No.
in there, or threads.
I didn't put any silks or random overdyes. Sometimes I do.
Sparkly.
And then this was one of those seasonal starts that I just had to start this summer. I don't know why.
That's pretty.
This is a kit by Lenarte called 4 Seasons, and each quadrant is a season. I started in the middle of this bouquet of flowers right here, so that whatever season it was, I could move out and work on that season in the season.
That's smart.
I'm using the kit fabric. It is Evenweave. Ooh, I think it's 32 count Evenweave. I don't think it's 28 count. I think it's 32 count. And I'm using the kit floss. And I love working on this one. But I did not, because I was focused on 23 by 23, I didn't start the winter section yet. So that is on my list of things to do during Bringo.
Holy moly, it's huge.
Yeah, it's going to be like a lap throw.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
gosh.
A tablecloth, a wall hanging.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even, this fabric is cut to size. But it does have a pretty big margin. Like this is, I started in the middle and moved out. So this is the edge of spring, and that's how much of a margin there is. So there's a good, I'd say 4 inches around the edge. Is it upside down? Nope, it's right side.
Well, it's very pretty.
It is. I love it. So I started in the middle with these flowers, moved up so I could work on spring first. I started it in spring. I think I started it in April.
Mm.
I did these feathers. There's not a lot of backstitching in it either, only here and there.
That's nice.
And then moved clear out to the border so I could, these pansies, so I could see what the border's this beautiful color wash as it goes along.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the summer, I started the summer section. So I finished this flower over here so I could move up to do summer. Did that cute little caterpillar on the border, but that was as far as I made it. It just gets worse and worse with every season, like less and less. Then in the fall, I did this N, it says Marjolaine Bastine across the middle because that's the artist of this artwork. And I moved down enough to do that N so I could do this flower in the fall section. And then I have not started the winter section. That will be in January.
I mean,
Still
winter
winter.
only started like a week and a half ago, right?
Yes.
Technically,
Winter
according
will
to
be
the
down
calendar.
here.
Yeah.
Fall is over. Look at the
We still
cute
have time.
caterpillar. Look
Aw,
at him.
he's got little stripies and everything.
But all of this, all of spring that I have on there, I've already done all the back stitching. And I was only back stitching on the stems of those pansies and the definition on the feathers.
Oh, yeah.
Like all these flowers in the bouquet, they are not backstitched. This bee right here is backstitched so that you can tell it's a bee. It just has
Just little details.
which really look cool.
Yeah, they do. They make them pop out.
Like backstitched in different colors so that they are gorgeous, but you're not spending half your life backstitching.
Yeah, backstitching the
Although,
whole thing.
Every square is completely filled in with a background color. Spring is this ecru light yellow color.
Right, like the whole thing.
Like, see how it kind of fades into.
Oh, okay.
So this border will go around. What did I do with the photo? You can't see it very well in here, but inside this border right here, that's a light yellow. This looks like it's a light green.
I see.
This is a orange color. Oh, and this is definitely blue.
So it's like a card inside the...
And I think it's, I'm using 2 strands of floss, but I think that background is 1 strand of floss because it just kind of fades. But inside this square, this inside square right here is all filled in.
Interesting choice.
And when I do a kit that comes with floss already cut, I use floss tags. These floss tags were made out of playing cards that had flowers from Utah on them.
That's fun.
I just cut them and punched them. I left the name of the flower on there though.
Oh yeah.
Because it's easy just to pull the floss out of the kit and stick it onto a
Onto a card.
tag instead of wrapping it on bobbins or
Yes.
putting it in baggies.
Who wants to do that? Nobody.
Nobody.
I mean, probably somebody.
Nobody.
Probably somebody out there really loves wrapping cards.
Probably. Okay, we're going to put this empty bin right here. Because I can't put it back where I stacked all the other ones.
Because they'll all fall over.
Oh, sorry, my nose is running.
Oh, my nose is itchy. I don't know what is going on.
My nose, every time I do a floss tube, it gets really runny. And I think it's the pulling all the fabric out of the bags. I don't know if I'm allergic to cross stitch fabric. That would be bad.
That would be a tragedy.
Or if it's just all
like
the
dust.
fiber just everywhere.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's just a bunch of little fibers in my nose right now.
And then I saw, this is Julie's fault on stitching at the cabin.
Wow, so much blame today.
Julie and her daughter, I cannot think of her name at the moment, is escaping me. I want to think it starts with an A. Darn. Anyway, they are both stitching this Afghan from Stony Creek. It's Christmas Village Afghan. And every time they show it, it's just stunning. It's just gorgeous. So I had to go buy the book from Stony Creek. The pattern is a book. This is a better picture of what the whole picture looks like.
You're about to get cut off from watching other people stitch, apparently.
We're at an hour and 40 minutes already. Oh my gosh. I bought the Afghan fabric from Stony Creek, and it had a couple of variegated colors in it that I bought from Stony Creek. The rest of it is DMC. But it is 20 count Lugana, and you stitch it over 2 threads with 4 strands of floss.
That's new.
So you can still loop start. You just have to have 2 strands to loop start. So that's nice. At least it's an even number.
Yeah.
And I have to put it on my bigger Q snaps.
It'd be a pain if it was 3.
I think this is 11 on the short side and 17 on the long side.
Look at all of that fabric. Good grief.
But you feel like you're going so fast.
That's true, because you're just flying.
Like you're just making this flower, but it's almost filling up the whole Q snap, and you have to scoot the Q snap over. But that one has, I love working on this one. And I didn't work on this during Christmas either. But I had to roll up all the fabric kind of
that's
like this.
my problem too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I rolled up the sides and the bottom, and then these are not just, I usually use the littler Smart and Cool magnets on my cross stitch, but these were like garage, in the garage section of Amazon.
Yeah.
They're like extra strong, humongous magnet cable.
Oh.
If you look on Amazon, they're magnetic cable ties, because it's to keep your cables under control.
Together, yes.
But you need the extra
Cable
strong
management.
ones. Smart and Cool. That's the brand name of the ones I love.
They look like they're working well.
They're like a little bit bigger than that one that stuck to the...
Yes.
They're fabulous. When you have a big roll of things that you need to control, they work great.
So cute.
And then I was watching Stitchin' Mommy and Colette, the highway stitcher, and they were starting these montages, these seasonal montages, and they were going to start one on the first day of every...
You are banned from Flosstube.
The solstice of every season. The official start of every season. Okay, they are doing the Pain-Free Crafts version, which is a full coverage you can get at Pain-Free Crafts. The artist is Janet Stever. And I did make a smart decision, and I decided I probably did not need to start 4 big full coverage designs.
That is correct.
But they also come in a Jan Lin kit with the floss and everything that looks like this. But I love the colors of this full coverage one a lot better than I like the colors on this one. So instead of using the 14 count Aida that it came with, I dyed some 36 count fabric so that the background fabric would be more this color.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to do that part.
Right. See, this is the Jan Lin kit cover.
Man, I forgot about Janlin.
But see how different, I love this color palette better.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I just don't, and I changed on this, just on the spring one, I changed these brown in this checkerboard to match my fabric better so it would kind of fade in like this one does. I started with 36 count light mocha fabric, and I dyed it myself with Rit dye in the color Marigold.
Okay. Didn't know we had graduated to that level yet.
I just really wanted a certain color fabric, and of course it was at night, and I couldn't go to the LNS in Salt Lake City and look for some. So that is what I have so far. I love it.
A snap decision or something?
Yeah, it's one of those, you know.
Gotta have it right now.
I really need to start that.
I love the cherry blossoms.
It is beautiful, and I think the fabric color is going to be perfect to make it look more like the full coverage version.
Yes, I agree.
I might change some of the back stitching too, so it's not so stark. And that really dark purple, if I don't like the way it looks, I may change that color as well.
This is gonna sound awful, but it reminds me of Olive Garden. But
yes,
I love
yes, that
Olive
Tuscany.
Garden. Yeah, exactly.
That Tuscany, Italian, the way Olive Garden is decorated with all of that stucco, Tuscany stucco color on the wall.
So good right now.
Yes, that's what it reminds me of as well. We're on the last bin.
Out of 3.
So I started that, not on the first day of spring. I don't think I started that until April. Apparently in April I was having all of the seasonal...
Well, I mean, that's when your birthday is, so, you know, you're just like, I can do
start
whatever I want.
Yeah. Okay, this is Brian Blitzstitch is his Instagram and his channel name. And he's a programmer, and he came out with an app.
That's right.
Oh, now I can't remember what it's called.
Sorry.
I'll put that in the description box.
How do you remember all these things that need to go in there?
Stitch journal. They're already all in the description box, and I just copy it from one video to another.
Oh.
A few things I have to remember to put in.
Yeah.
I don't think I have his
app.
Anyway, it's an app that tracks, you can keep track of all your projects, your shopping list, your things you have bought but you need to kit it. You can keep track of your progress. You can, as a timer, so you can just open this project and hit start, and then when you're done stitching on that project, hit stop, and it will automatically record how long you've worked on it, how much, and you can actually put in how many stitches you did if you want to track how, because then it can tell you if you keep working at this rate, it's going to take this long to finish it.
Oh my
It is a very cool app.
That is so clever.
It looks just like his channel name logo. His program looks same colors, that black and that red. It's got a big X on it. Oh, dang, I wish I could remember. Anyway, he was going to start Miss Hathaway's Garden last year sometime. Could have been the year before. And then he decided not to start it. But when he showed the chart, I had never seen it before. It's a Marty Bell is the artist. Pegasus.
Oh, look, it's a house with flowers on it.
Oh, I'm so
surprised.
shocked.
I'm shook.
Pegasus Publications still publishes all of her charts, so they are not out of print. You can buy it on Amazon. But I just think it is the most gorgeous thing. It is full coverage, but because it's a paper chart, I've been trying to get it into either Markup RXP or Pattern Keeper, but I'm not having a lot of great luck where you could search for the symbols. I can get it in there where you could mark it off, which might be what I have to do. But it has a zillion colors. These little cards right here are for you to cut out and take to the store so that you can buy all of those colors. That is JP, DMC, and Anchor. So you'd only need one of these cards, but that's how many colors are in it.
Good grief.
So I had it in my stash for a long time, and I kept thinking, I want to start that. And then I'd look at the color list and just go, no, I don't have the energy to go find all those colors.
Don't you have all those colors though?
Well, then I realized that it's also available as a Janlin kit.
Oh.
Already with the floss pre-cut and everything for you.
Goodness.
So I bought the kit. So I did not have to put together all that floss. It's the exact same chart. I checked against each other. It's the exact same chart. And on this one, I love Stitchin' Mommy. Sarah the Stitchin' Mommy. Her channel is the Stitchin' Mommy. She does what she calls the typewriter method.
Okay.
And Colette, because this is basically a full coverage. Colette, the Highway Stitcher, has been doing that on her Knitting Woman chart. Oh, she's over halfway now.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most gorgeous thing. You start at the top and you're filling in as you go down, kind of like you're filling in from the corner.
Yeah.
She fills in from the top down.
Okay.
When she's doing that method, and it's the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen to see that come to life. So I thought I'd try that on this piece. So it's called the typewriter method because you move across the top. To pick your next symbol, you're moving across the top. So on that very first row, you choose the next open spot, moving from left to right. Choose whatever symbol that is, and then you just keep stitching whatever's nearby until you run out of thread.
Okay.
And then you go back up to the top row again.
Oh, that's right.
Choose the next empty spot, and do that symbol until it runs out.
Okay.
So you end up filling in, you know, it's cross country down here, but it fills in completely from the top down.
Yes.
You're not going back to find all those ninja stitches that you missed.
Yeah, no thank you.
But it does have a little start on it, not very far. You can see the chimney and some clouds on this beautiful piece of fabric.
Yeah.
I am not going to stitch. I think the background sky is all charted. Oh no, because the kit came with blue fabric,
yeah,
so no,
good.
it's not charted.
Good. Hallelujah for that.
Yes, I am not using the kit fabric. I think it was 14 count Ada. This is one of the best. Oh yes, it does. Hallelujah. It's on 32 count. Picture this plus Arial 2/2. And I either started it on my birthday or the week of my birthday. I can't tell if that's a 3 or an 8. This needle minder was one that my daughter-in-law Hannah made.
Adorable.
But I did it on 32 count with 2 strands because I just wanted it to be a big chunky.
Yes.
Every once in a while I get the urge to work on just something chunky. I don't know why.
But not the chair over there.
No, needlepoint. Needlepoint is not my favorite thing.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Oh, how different is needlepoint with yarn than stitching? I don't know. Maybe it's because I was filling in colors, not because it was a painted.
Oh, yes.
No, it wasn't.
Was it?
No. I don't know.
I just have to razz her about the chair every once in a while because she struggled so much.
This is considered the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. It is a beautiful chart. My daughter Marie was thinking about starting it, and I had been resisting until then, and then said, "Oh, I have that in my stash. Yes, I will start it with you."
We're gonna start practicing saying no.
I'll have to call you, Catherine. Catherine, I really want to start this thing. You'll have to talk me down off the ledge. It's on 46 count flax Zweigart, and it is the perfect color for this chart. I just love working on it. As soon as I finish Lost No More, I think this is going to be my Sunday stitch. I just started up in the corner. I don't have a lot. I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads.
Wait, don't you already have a Sunday project?
As soon as Lost No More is finished.
Oh, I gotcha.
Then
okay.
this will become. The border is all of these orange flowers, and it's charted, I think, in 4 different colors of orange, peachy orange. And I decided to I pulled out all of the peachy oranges I had variegated in my overdyed stash collection. And so I'm using like 12 different colors in this border so that all of those flowers look a little different. Because you know how much I love repetitive borders.
I was going to say. So does that make it less repetitive if every flower is slightly different?
Yes, yes. When the colors change for some reason. You're still doing the exact same X's in the exact same order.
But it's a different color. So Whatever
Yes.
works for you, I guess. We do this for fun, right?
Right. And then it was time to go to Ohio for StitchCon in June, and my friend Kim, who lives in Ohio,
Oh no.
really wanted to start this. Told me she was at Keepsakes, the store there. Jan, the finisher, had brought in these pillows that she had just finished. I think it was Jan. From Brenda Gervais.
Kim, we are also going to practice saying no.
I can't think of her. Brenda Gervais, you know who she is. Summer Schoolhouse. There are 4 different patterns that you can make into 5 different pillows, or you can stitch it all as one piece. I'm doing the 5 different pillows. Apparently the finish that Kim saw was drop dead gorgeous, and I love this pattern. And I haven't ever stitched a Brenda Gervais, so I needed to stitch a Brenda Gervais. So we started this when we were together in June. We started this on the called for 28 count mushroom Lugana. More magnets stuck together.
I was going to say, I heard those ones go together.
They are big.
Shrunk.
Okay, fine. Hold that for a minute.
Okay.
And I finished the first pillow up here, and I have started on the second pillow right there, which will be the little lady one.
Mm.
It's 1/1 on 28 count with the called for over dyed flosses. It's very petite, very muted color palette. It's very calm. All right, here, give me that back, and I'll stick it to the
I
back
like
of
the
this.
calm projects.
Well, I either want it to be really bright, fun colors,
Oh, yeah.
or calm.
Yes,
One or
actually.
the other.
Yeah.
Oh, I was supposed to be putting those over here.
And it's usually bright and fun in the summer and calm in the winter.
I think I was just entertaining myself this year because the week before StitchCon, Colette, the highway stitcher, texted me a picture of this pattern, and she said, "Have you seen this pattern? It's called Electrical. This is called Electrical Light Parade Mandala."
Like Disneyland?
Mm-hmm. By Atomic Pins.
Cute.
And it is based on the Main Street Electrical Parade at Disneyland.
Oh.
And it is half beads.
Seriously?
So every time there's a light bulb on one of those floats, it's a bead.
Oh my gosh.
It is the most, I just think it's going to be the most stunning thing
Yeah.
ever.
Holy
Like,
moly.
all of that is beads. But it's not all beads. Well, I'll
Yeah.
show you. It turns out to be about half stitching and half beads.
Oh my goodness.
Because there's stitching in between all of the beads.
I love this color fabric.
It's a
You probably don't, but I
dark
do.
gray. I decided not to do it on black because that's hard to see.
Yeah.
But this dark gray is a little easier to see. So I started up in the corner. You can see the sheen on that. This part of his head and neck is all beaded.
Yeah.
I'm almost done with his body, but it doesn't have any beads. Just the stitching, it doesn't have the beads on it yet.
So
I just
you're-
think that is going to be so fun when it's done.
Yeah. So wait, you're doing the beading as you go along?
Yes, because I realized I would never
Never go back and
I'd
do a
never be
million
motivated
beads.
to work on it if I had to do, because it doesn't look great without the beads.
Yeah.
Just looks really spotty.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Just get
So
bigger and
as
bigger
soon
Q
as
snaps?
I have completely filled this Q-snap with as much as I can possibly stitch in it, like the parts I've already stitched, I'll move clear over to the edge so they're right next to the clip, so
Oh,
I can
yeah.
fit as much in here as possible. Then I'll move to the 11 by 17 Q-snap and do
Okay.
some more, and then I'll move to the 17 by 17, and then if I add my extenders, it's 20 by 20, which I think the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
project will fit on.
Okay.
So I'll just,
Heck.
because otherwise I just know I would never finish.
Yeah, I feel like you can't get a beading project that's bigger than the Q snaps that you have, because then you're just stuck.
Right. You'd have to put it on scroll rods, I guess.
Something, yeah.
It
Oh, that's
calls
true.
for quite a few colors of beads, this many colors in this
Tracks.
a bead box that I decided to put them all in to keep track of them. They are Delica beads. I sourced them from several different places to find all the colors. A bead store online is probably your best bet that sells Delica beads. that it has a lot of colors.
Imagine
in
that.
It.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think there would
And
be
I
that many
decided to
colors.
put them, I did buy all of these as skeins and then cut them into the lengths
Okay.
that I thought I would like. But it is,
For being mostly beading, I
I
wouldn't think
think
that it would have that many colors.
it's 18 count Ada. I'm using 2 strands of floss, so I can loop it. I can take one strand and
Yeah.
loop it in half. And I decided to put them on floss tags that are Disney themed
Cute.
from a Disney edition of Meme the Game. I just stole the cards out of it and made them into floss tags. Because it was, for that many colors, that was easier than
Yes.
bobbinating them and then putting them in a box.
Yeah.
I
that
couldn't
sounds
put them on a
miserable.
bag, in baggies on a ring, because there's just too many.
Yeah, there
It's
are.
like the Heaven and Earth design.
Yeah.
It's just too many.
Forget about it.
We're getting there. We have like maybe 10 more. Take a break if you need to. Go get a drink.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
back.
No,
And
they're
then,
stitching. They're on a roll.
then in the first day of summer solstice, I started the summer montage. Same thing. I'm doing the Janlin kit using the same fabric that I dyed myself with root dye. Where's my mock-up page? Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's why I was stuck in there. This is the difference between the full coverage version and the Janlin kit version.
Oh, super cute.
This one,
It has a sunflower on it, so I love it.
yes, look at that. So I'm using I started with the 36 count light mocha linen.
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing it was white when you started.
No, light mocha is when I get to winter, I'll show you. I have a scrap of the fabric in there.
Oh, I just
Of
meant
what it
before you
started
dyed
at.
it.
Before I dyed it, it's a light mocha. It's like a tan,
Oh, I
a really
see.
light tan color. And then
Okay.
the marigold just adds that yellowy gold
Darker.
modeling. And I
Okay.
did that watermelon that's right at the top center. I think it's so beautiful.
Cute. Oh my gosh. I love all the back stitching on the little seeds.
They really look like seeds, don't
Yeah,
they?
they really do.
So that one was way fun. I will work on that again during the summer season.
Maybe you just have more time during the spring and summer.
To start more
To
energy.
start
Yes,
do
to start all the
seasonal
things.
Yeah.
And then we were in Casper, Wyoming for no. And then I was in Las Vegas with some friends, my wonderful friend Lonnie, and Kim and Marie, and we went to Stitcher's Paradise in Las Vegas. And Marie was very pregnant, and so she had to go to the bathroom. And in the bathroom, there was a model hanging on the wall,
Oh,
which
no.
she was very impressed that there was a model hanging on the wall. And it's Bent Creek big round zipper. This is not a great picture of it, sorry. And they had stitched it, and it was a model. And she came out of the bathroom. I was standing in line at the cash register. She came out of the bathroom, and she said, "Mom," she had taken a picture of it. "Look at this." She's showing it to me on the phone. I'm like, "Oh, that's cute." In fact, I was just looking at those patterns. They're right here by the cash register. They come as a kit. It was the big zippers with Bent Creek are always kits, and you have to have all 6 kits to do the whole pattern.
Okay.
This is the first kit, and all it has is that border and those words. But you have to have all 6, and they happen to have all 6 right there. It's their 8 or 10 years ago this came out, so it's out of print. You just have to find the kits wherever you can find them. I have seen them at several LNSs as I've gone to different ones over the last year. You would just have to call around to find the different kits, watch for them on eBay.
Oh yeah.
But we bought all 6 kits there. The model in the bathroom, okay, the kit comes with 18 count raw colored linen. It kind of looks like burlap because it's such a big weave. And you do it over 2 fabric threads with number 5 size pearl cotton. So it's kitted up with pearl cotton and that really large fabric. And the fabric comes in kit number 1 with the pearl cotton to do just that part. And then each kit after that came with just the pearl cotton to do that section. But the model in the bathroom was stitched with, on 36 count fabric with just regular floss.
Okay.
Because pearl cotton comes in the same colors, the DMC colors as DMC.
Okay. So even if you found just the pattern, you could do.
Yes. So Marie and I are sharing, we shared the cost of the 6 kits. It was quite expensive. They're a good $20, $30 each.
Yeah.
And then she's stitching it on 36 count with regular floss, and I'm stitching it on 25 count even weave over 2 strands of floss, because I like that better than the 18 count linen, with the pearl cotton that came in the kit. Sorry, that was a long explanation.
A funny story though. Oh my gosh, it's huge.
So this is the Stitcher's Paradise bathroom piece. I'm going to make it into a round pillow. I saw it on Pinterest or somewhere, made into a round pillow, like on the couch, and I just thought it was so cute.
That's so fun.
This is 25 count potato. Even weave. It's almost like the old oatmeal. It's very light, but it's got a tan fleck in it. And that 25 count is obviously smaller stitches than it would be on over 2 threads on 18 count. Yes, because over 2 threads on 18 count, that's going to be 9 stitches per inch. I'm doing it over 2 threads on 25 count, which is 12.5 stitches per inch. So the stitches are very squishy, especially right here where they're dense.
Oh yeah.
But it has been fine. I have not had any problems, and I love how just dense and chunky and dark those colors are. I just love it. This is the one that I'm hoping will be done. I could possibly finish tomorrow if nothing else happened and the stars aligned and I don't know, sprained my ankle and had to stay sitting down all day or something.
Let's maybe not put that into the universe.
But this one has been more fun to work on. Oh my goodness. I love that. I don't know. I love going from really tiny stitches on a really delicate piece to
really chunky.
To just really chunky. It's just fun. In September, then we went to Casper, Wyoming for the Crazy Woman Stitching Retreat, which is next to the Crazy Woman River. It's not called Crazy Women because we're all crazy women. It's called that because it's next to the Crazy Woman River in Casper. And the exclusive piece from the retreat was This Crazy Life by my friend Jenny, Cricklewood Crossing. It's beautiful. This really big gorgeous brown flower right here in the middle is DMC. We got the kit at the retreat. It's kitted with DMC. I'm going to change that to an over dyed brown just because it is such a big motif right in the middle. So and I love the color change. So I'll pick a very similar color to do that flower.
Yeah, that'll be really nice.
With the teal. And I chose to do mine on for a 40 count pewter by Picture This Plus. So it's probably closer to a 43 count, 44 count because it's Picture This Plus. But I love their fabric. And that's what I have so far. It's also in on my Bringo board.
Oh, yes.
So it will get some love in January.
Good, good.
Then it was, my nose is running again. It was time for the autumn.
Oh, yes.
First day of autumn. So here's the Jen Lynn. Am I in the frame?
Yeah.
Autumn montage, and this is the pain-free version next to the kit version. I'm using the exact same fabric, the 36 count light mocha linen that I dyed with marigold threads. I didn't dye them all at the same time. I dyed each one as I got ready to start it. And I kept like this one seemed like it needed to be a little bit lighter of a color, so I didn't use, I watered down the dye.
Yeah.
So they're all a little different. But all I got done was that leaf. And I want to, no, I think it goes that way. Up in the corner. These montages are the same thing. They get smaller and smaller with every season. Like I got less done and less done. And less
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, fall at school is crazy time.
Yes. Using the kit floss on that 36 count with 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads, because I love 2 strands on 36 count with kits or 18 count. Then it was Stitch West in Salt Lake City, and the guest designer was Teresa Kogut and Little Stitch Girl. We received this Teresa Kogut design all kitted up as part of the retreat. It's called Seaworthy Sampler. She actually gave us, it came with 3 patterns that go together. There's this one called Under the Sea. She told us a story about how they were 3 mermaid sisters. This one is over, kind of takes care of everything going on the land. This one takes care of everything going under the sea. And then the littlest sister is Ariel.
Of course.
That's a 3rd chart. I started just the Seaworthy Sampler one, and I chose to do it on 40. I didn't do it on the fabric it came with. I decided to do it on 46 count Lunar by Bestitch Me. 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. And look at that cute matching needle minder.
Oh,
Almost, they look like
identical,
twins, don't
yeah.
they? Oh, it just fell down again.
She does not want to cooperate today.
Nope. 3, 4 more. We're almost there.
Oh, wow.
And then also we finished our My Home in the Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews Stitch Along at Stitch West with all my Stitch West friends. So we started the Sunnyside Sampler as this year's Stitch Along. We have it divided into 12 sections, and we will finish it hopefully all together at next year's Stitch West.
Oh, yay.
Colette Kingsley on Instagram and the Highway Stitcher on Flosstube is the leader of the Stitch Along. If you go to her Instagram or my Instagram, you'll see how it's divided into 12 sections for each month. We're going from the 22nd of each month to the 22nd. This calls for, the called for floss is needlepoint silks and dinky dye silks, which is what I am using. And there is no DMC conversion on this chart. So I pulled out all of the threads. I was using the silks and I made a DMC conversion. What I would choose if I was going to stitch it on DMC with DMC, and that is posted on my Instagram account as well as Colette's Instagram account. I finished the first 2 sections. We started in October, so October to November, and then November to December 22nd. And that's what I have so far. I backstitched the window panes because the 2 colors were so close I couldn't tell the difference. The middle of these little sunflowers, I did a smear and a cross. Just that's like a plus on top of an X, just to make it a little more, like the middle of a flower is kind of dense and sticks up. And then I did the same thing on the flowers on these trees. I did those as smear and crosses.
Well, they look lovely.
And it's on the called for fabric, which is 32 count raw or natural linen. 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads. 2 more.
Okie dokie.
Winter montage. I know you weren't expecting that.
What?
What?
Gasp.
Here's the kit cover photo. And here are the 2 together. I felt like this one was a little bit lighter background. So I tried to dye the fabric for this one a little bit lighter. But same fabric, same marigold Rit dye. I usually end up dyeing it the day I want to start it, so
Of
then I dye it, and then I
course.
can't start it until the next day.
Because it's
So I
all
wait
wet.
until the last minute.
If it was quicker on the dry, I could have the shocked Pikachu face. It's like, ah! You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yes. And that's my little itty bitty first little holly leaf
You're
start.
right. It has got
Because
worse
I was
and
in the
worse.
middle of 23 by 23, and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
was not one
yeah.
of them.
I guess it's still winter, so you still have time.
Okay, and then the last one is kind of some under the table secret
What?
stitching that was going on this year that I haven't ever showed. I really like the Mill Hill Buttons and Beads kits.
You're having a Brandon Sanderson moment where he popped up and he was like, surprise, I wrote 4 secret books.
Yes. Yeah. And they're for my, I work on them during my lunch hour, half hour at work.
Yeah.
So I kind of forget about them because they stay in my cupboard at work. I don't ever bring them home.
Oh,
Rarely.
right.
So
Secret
that's why they're
stitching cabinet
secret.
at work.
Yes. But this one's called Mouse House. It's a button and beads kit by Mill Hill. And I was working on this one in the fall, hoping, because I'm going to put them, I have a frame that they'll all fit into, and I'm going to switch them out with the season.
Yeah.
So it'll sit on my desk at work, and I'll
Okay.
just, in the little frame, and I'll just switch them out. So I was working on this one in the fall, but then it was way past fall, and I still wasn't done with it. So I switched to a winter one. They're done on perforated paper. And this is what I had done so far on Mouse House. I'm beading as I go because I love to see how it's going to look.
Oh, yeah. I guess it's small enough that you can get away with it, too.
Yeah, it's not in a frame or anything, so you can...
Oh.
Isn't he cute?
Yeah, he's way cute. Oh, you know what? Maybe Andrew can put in the shocked Pikachu face.
Oh, yes, I thought you could.
Every time I say, what?
And then, because it was way past fall and I realized that was never going to happen, I started on this winter oak. This one did come with fabric. It's not a buttons and beads, but it is a Mill Hill kit, similar size.
Oh, tiny little beads in there.
It came with fabric, but I'm going to stitch it on perforated paper instead because that's easier to stitch on at work.
Yeah. You don't have to have a...
And it will fit in my little frame. I just
frame
started
or
on the
anything.
tree. Hopefully it will be done before spring comes and I can put it up in my office.
What do you mean? Oh, so you can put it in your office for
'Cause it's a winter
I see,
tree.
I see.
I probably have 14 Mill Hill kits, buttons and beads kits in my stash of all different seasons and times of the year. So
Yeah, that makes
as
sense.
soon as one's done, I'll just start on another one. Okay, that's it.
Oh my gosh, we
2
made
hours
it!
and 17 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm so
okay.
sorry, people.
I got 215 stitches in, so, you know, I'm sure they did too.
Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I'll do the 12 by 12. If you want to see what I'm working on, I've posted that on Instagram. And then January we'll start Bringo for the month of January in the monthly magazine Facebook group. I've also posted what I'm doing for that on Instagram. And then I've got my WIP board ready
Oh, good, good.
for next year. And I have also posted that on Instagram if you want to see them. But I'll make another video on after New Year's, the day after New Year's, to show what I have finished and my planner and my plans and stuff for 2023, my rotation plans. And then I'll also make a video after, a regular video showing what I worked on for 12 by 12 and my progress that I have so far.
Okay. Hooray!
And Catherine's going to work on...
On this,
That one?
forever, for the rest of my life, this project.
Are you going to stitch
Good
tomorrow
though.
on New Year's Eve?
Sure am, probably.
Watch a movie?
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it.
Yay!
We'll see you later.
Bye!
Bye-bye.